Welcome back to the Lou Perez Podcast. My name is Lou Perez. If you'd like to support the podcast, please head over to thelouperez.locals.com and join the Lou Perez community. If you join, you'll get to listen to the podcast early. You'll get to watch my sketch comedy early, as well as experience other exclusive content. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you're looking for another way to support me, you can do so by supporting my sponsors. So if you're into cold brew, I highly recommend Black Organic Cold Brew. Head over to www.blvckbrew.com and use promo code LOU, that's LOU, and you'll get free shipping. And if you're into CBD products, please check out Paloma Verde, www.palomaverdestore.com. And if you use the code LOU, you'll get 25% off purchases over $75. And if you sign up for email, you'll get an extra 10% off as well. All right, here we go. I am so happy to be joined by Keith London and Darrian Hogg, aka Choo. They are the stars of the documentary Pigeon Kings, and I also have the film's director, Milena Pastreich.
Milena Pastreich.
Milena Pastreich. You know, I need to start every one of my podcasts with an amazing screw up. So I'm very glad that I got that one out of the way. I got to talk about just how I found your documentary Pigeon Kings. Thankfully, Amazon seems to know me and know what Amazon Prime in particular, know what I'm into. And one night my wife and I were sort of scrolling through stuff and we saw Pigeon Kings and we're like, what is this? And we played the trailer and the trailer sold us. We were like, we gotta watch this. So for anyone out there who's making films, who's making documentaries, it's so crucial to have a great trailer. To obviously have great characters and a great story to tell, but to have a trailer that really sells it. And you guys did such a great job with that. For the uninitiated, I'm wondering if Keith, if you could tell us a little bit about the activity that is centered around Pigeon Kings, and what is this competition, and to those who might not know about it, what's going on with that?
Well, we like a community of guys that raise roller pigeons. A roller pigeon is a pigeon that does backward somersaults, and we form these clubs and we compete. When Pigeon Kings is a World Cup prelims and competition and the daily stuff we go through outside of the hobby, just to maintain ourselves within the hobby. Basically, that's what Pigeon Kings basically is. Mm-hmm. It tells the stories, our stories of what we have to deal with besides just the pigeons, and then how the pigeons are there for us as refuge, comfort, and other things to some. They're therapy for some. That's what we do.
So I'm from New York, so I have I would say a negative relationship with New York pigeons. Okay. How are roller pigeons different from the New York pigeons that I have to deal with every day of my life?
Okay, roller pigeons are actually domesticated. All roller pigeons, except the ones that are just get to the wild, they're all owned by somebody else, and they are trained to go out, fly their time, and come home. They don't hang around, sit on wires, pooping on cars, and digging all through the streets. They out performing back in, and we vaccinate them for all kind of diseases, keep them from getting diseases or causing us sick. So they're very, very well taken care of, and they're a lot prettier.
They are definitely. And Choo, you in the documentary, you were it seemed like you were kind of more new to the game, where Keith has been in it for a while. What was the attraction for you to get involved with roller pigeons and to invest so much time and money behind it as well?
Well, when you get involved with the pigeons, man, it's like once you get that bug, man, it traps you. I spent a lot of time trying to understand the birds. I learned a lot from Keith, but it's not that easy. I thought it was going to be real easy. It wasn't. Very hard,
Mhm.
especially when you're green. It's really hard when you're green.
Mhm. And Milena, how did you come about these guys? Were you a pigeon aficionado yourself, or?
No. I was making a scripted short film, and the film, one of the locations was a pigeon coop. So I was location scouting pigeon coops all over LA, and then went to some guy's backyard to look at his pigeon coop, and he released his pigeons and they all started doing somersaults in the air. And when in the film, you see a lot of the somersaulting pigeons, and a lot of it is in slow motion. But if you see it with your eyes, it looks like they're just sort of tumbling very rapidly towards the ground, and then they like get back up and join the group. And I was just amazed that had no idea these pigeons existed. And he invited me to a lawn show, which is a pigeon auction, similar to the one in the film. He invited me to one of those, and there are hundreds of men wearing pigeon t-shirts in a backyard auctioning off pigeons. And Keith was actually in that backyard too. I met him that very first day. And I mean, I was hooked immediately, just because the passion in the community, and that when you're walking around that backyard full of pigeon enthusiasts, they're literally all talking about pigeons. There was no other topic. I was like, oh my God, this is surreal. This is a surreal world that I've entered, and I want to make a movie about it.
So this happens all over the world, right? You said that there's a World Cup of pigeons. Keith, have you competed on that scale, on that grand stage, the World Cup?
Yes, I have several times.
Yeah. And where do those take place? Is it every 4 years, like the World Cup of soccer, or no? Okay.
It's not since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They just canceled the one for this year, so it just got canceled like last week or so. But it happens every year between April 1st and maybe early June, maybe, depending on the regions and weather and all that kind of stuff. But every year, we do it every year. We have a 2 rounds. We have a qualifying round, and you have the finals. And we compete we compete locally. What the judge does is we hire local judges that judge our local competitions, and then the top 3 of said competition go on to fly in the finals. And then we have one judge that fly all over the world to go judge all these kits, backyard to backyard to backyard. That's what he does.
Wow.
And it's like a free vacation for him.
It's good to be a judge. Well, I was wondering, with the judge, just how fast they have to count every single turn, right? Like how do they manage to do that? Or
well, as you fly, the more you fly and the more you get out and see pigeons, your eyes kind of adjust to being able to count the birds, but it's not really like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It happens too quick. It's like boom, you gotta go 5, and you gotta go boom 7, and your eyes get acclimated to catch as many birds as possible that roll the correct distance and the proper rolling style. So like you're taking a mental picture and you're assessing the picture within a fraction of a second until the next break comes, and they judge in breaks. So once one break is over with, then they fly a little bit more, and they do it again, and so forth. And the more practice you have, the better you can get at it. But you're never going to be 100% accurate, because the human eye is not that fast.
Yeah, and that's why I really loved in the documentary, like you said, where there's so much footage of the pigeons slowed down. So for one, it works so well as a nice transitionary tool that you used in the storytelling. But then also, it's just watching all of these birds in unison performing together was really wild. I was wondering, I was expecting there to be I don't know, more drama on the side of like judges, like, are you kidding me? this bird, did this many, or
It does happen.
it's
After
gotta
the fact.
happen after the fact.
Oh yeah, it's there.
Yeah. And Choo, how are your birds doing now? Well, how are all your birds doing? I mean, this has been such an
Right now,
insane time.
I'm all right. I'm all right right now.
Mhm.
I got quite a few kits over there getting ready. I had them out there this morning.
Yeah, I was wondering what sort of COVID restrictions there would be on the birds flying. I mean, I guess the one good thing is I think the coronavirus that originates from bats. So you got not birds, so you're cool with that, so it's not like anyone's trying to fly bats around or anything like that.
But we did have a problem though. Like before the coronavirus, in California we had a quarantine because of the exotic Newcastle disease. It's a disease that affects chickens, pigeons, ducks, just about all birds. And we had a quarantine for 2 years where we couldn't even fly or do anything. For all of 19, was starting in 2018, 18, 19, and 20, or 18, 19, and 20. It was 3 years.
Wow.
2.5 years actually. We couldn't fly anything, so we couldn't compete. Even before the COVID stuff even happened, we still couldn't compete.
Wow. So
not in California.
So how long has it been since your last competition?
My last competition was 2000, I want to say 16.
Wow.
You talking about for the Newcastle? I think it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah, for me it was 2016. I stopped competing before Newcastle came.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one that's in the film.
Yeah, that was the last competition I competed in, that one.
What's it been like walking away from the game?
Well, I still had pigeons. I just wasn't competing.
Mm-hmm.
So I still had the birds. So it was all right. And then the game, dudes gonna hate me for this. The game wasn't that competitive while I was going anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm not missing nothing. That's how I felt. I mean, I watched the scores. The scores are very low. I was like, okay, I'm not missing anything.
I'm thinking of like when Jordan was like, you know what, I'm gonna go play baseball for a while. Like I'm like wondering if there's another animal that you're like, I'm gonna do a dog show or something like that. So completely different competition.
Oh no. Maybe he might.
I'm back.
Maybe he might. It's the birds for us though.
Yeah.
Gotta be the birds.
So when there's when there's a disease like you talked about, going around, how do you protect your birds from that? What can you do I mean, you have to let them fly, right?
Well, no, they had a no fly rule. We couldn't fly them, we couldn't do anything. There was imposing people get fines on people for getting caught flying their birds.
Yeah.
Up to $1,000 for flying your birds. Pretty much.
Or they would come and take all your birds and kill them.
Because they only kill your birds if they found any bird on your property sick. If one bird was sick, they all were sick. They consider it like that, and they was killing all the birds on property. So what I did was not bring in no birds, not send out any birds. I flew some birds later, like when it was close to being over.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of it, I didn't fly birds anyway. So I just had pigeons here and there. I just had them at my friend's house. They weren't at my house. But anyway, it was easy for me because I wasn't in that arena right then anyway. So it was easy for me to stay away from everybody anyway. I wasn't going to the shows. I didn't go to no flies. And I vaccinate my birds already anyway. See, most guys wait till their birds get sick until they vaccinate them. I do mine every other year, faithfully, period, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's so much great stuff that happens in the doc, and you're bringing us into a world that so few people know about. There's one part where was it a hawk or a falcon that you had to take out because it was going after the birds?
It was a hawk.
It was a hawk, and there's like news footage and stuff, and the news footage is trying to make it like you're like this, like an evil guy going after this hawk, but meanwhile you're defending these helpless birds against this animal of prey.
Yeah, people have their own narratives about things. I mean, the thing about that was, it wasn't like I went hunting. Like you said, we didn't go hunting.
Right.
The bird actually came in the backyard where I was. Just like if a mountain lion jumped over your fence and tried to get your dog, I see it no different than that. If a mountain lion jump over somebody's fence and grab the dog, they come out and either kill it, tranquilize it and carry it away or something like that. But a falcon or a hawk, it's like free game. I guess it's free game until it grabs one of their dogs. I guess.
Yeah. Choo, have you had to beat the shit out of any hawks?
No, you know what?
Throw down?
You know what I learned, man? When you're in California, you got to breed a lot of birds, man, because that's a serious problem over here because they breed those birds for the regular common pigeons, but our birds don't go nowhere. So our birds are easy targets, and we feed them good. You know, you want McDonald's or filet mignon. You'll pick that filet mignon every time.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing the footage, and I don't know if it was stock footage or footage that you got, about like basically these predatory birds just kind of hanging out, waiting for one of the birds to leave the group. So you managed to shoot like an urban nature documentary while at the same time doing this competitive, capturing this competitive world. Did it change the way that you think about nature, about animals? Do you eat chicken a different way now? Like how do you...
I actually don't eat chicken.
Okay.
I don't eat meat. So I love animals, but it certainly opened my eyes to the birds in the sky around me here in the city. Before I would never. Now you can be driving in your car and look up and you can actually see rollers. People who are flying their rollers from their backyard, you might see them, or sometimes there's a stray in with just regular street pigeons, and you see them rolling. Your eyes are just like suddenly open to this whole new world, or at least mine were, from shooting this doc. And that wasn't stock footage. It was all footage that we shot.
Wow. And where did the roller pigeons come from originally? Where did they start out?
Birmingham, England.
Birmingham, England.
Yeah. Keith, you want to elaborate?
Well, a guy named Bill Pensum brought him here. He was hired to come take care of somebody else's birds that had been importing birds from England, and to help him get, manage his birds and teach him about his birds. So that guy gave him a job working, but he brought him here, and then that's why they called Pensum rollers, because of his name, Bill Pensum, and they come from Birmingham, England. And then from there on, I was way before my time, but the story said he brought him here to show guys a different breed of pigeon that can roll with, as they put it, inconceivable speed, inconceivable rapidity downwards. So, and that was a new breed here. And when he came here, that it just took off. It took off and became the cornerstone of roller pigeons, period. There were roller pigeons here before that, but these birds were by far better as far as quality and everything else. And then from there, different guys got them, and then created all kind of clubs and competitions came up where it was local guys, and now then the World Cup came in the early 90s, I think early 90s. And then
so it's fairly new then, the competition, if it's the
World Cup
was, yeah.
The national flag might have been there before that one.
What's going on when the pigeon is rolling? Is like what's going on in their body, in their brain? Like what is it? Is there an evolutionary component to it? Or
you know what? That right there is the $1 billion question. Nobody has figured that out yet. Nobody has figured totally what's actually happening. All I know is if we're up to Mother Nature, they wouldn't do it. So what we are doing, we are cultivating a genetic fault. And we'll be doing this how we do that by selection.
Mm-hmm.
You select the birds. To make it simple, we select the birds that perform in unison to the highest degree or to the highest percentages, and keep breeding those birds over and over back to each other to maintain or enhance the qualities we have set forth in the birds. So what Bill Pinson set forth, we trying to maintain it or enhance it. And that's all we doing. All we doing is cultivating a genetic fault, because genetically it shouldn't be happening. It's what you call an anomaly.
Yeah. And Choo, in the doc, I know you got at least one bird from Keith. Is that bird still around, or are they still eating filet mignon? No,
man, it didn't make it.
Oh, sorry.
It happens like that sometimes. You know, you can't base your whole family off one bird sometimes, but some people do it. But sometimes you can't have no favorite bird in this hobby, because it seems like whatever you like, the predator like it just as much as you like it.
Mm. Yeah. And before we were talking a little bit, you have a barber shop, that's your trade outside of working with the birds, and we were talking a little bit earlier about how COVID has been affecting that, and maybe we could just talk about that, like just in general, how COVID has been the last year or so has impacted everybody's life who worked on this project.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah.
Especially the hobby. It seems like since the COVID, all the stuff that have to do with the birds, all that stuff is off the list.
Mm-hmm.
All the shows and all that stuff, people barely get a chance to come hang out, even though we sneak here and there and have a little something here and there, but not like it used to be. So we wait for this COVID to be over with.
Yeah.
So we can get back to bird now like we used to.
Same, Keith? What?
Well, yes, pretty much. It has slowed down a lot. I mean COVID has affected us, the hobby a whole lot, because we don't hang out as much. We used to hang out. Well, this month will usually be our first show in March, and then from here on out, it'd be from here to all the way to October. It'd be a total of about 8 different shows. So we don't hang out. No, we haven't been hanging out flying too many pigeons. We would go hang out just to watch each other's birds fly.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then we go do that, But since social distancing is like if I don't think it's gonna be able to be social distancing at a place where people hang out, I won't even go.
Yeah.
So, and I know at some places everybody talking about going, I said, nah, that's too small a space, man. No way. I watch the live feed that they're gonna do, and that's all I've been doing. I want to get out there like that. I want to. I think I want to more so as a service to the hobby, more so, because it's not really for me. I mean, now I think I want to get out there just so I can start guiding the guys in the right direction. Because I think since all of this has happened, the hobby has taken a turn, and not for the better, for the worse as far as competition. But their willingness to be friends and comrades has increased a lot. I mean, this new generation, they try and do some stuff, but I think they're being guided wrong as far as the Birmingham Rotor itself. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I want to step in a little bit, for that reason.
Yeah, I feel like not enough attention is paid to the importance of groups like that you guys are a part of, with with the rollers. The idea of you guys getting together all the time, competing, talking shit, having fun, and then it's like boom, that's over. Like that can have just a
they still talk shit.
They still talk. Well, yeah, I guess talking shit never ends, right?
On the internet, oh my God, it gets so bad I don't even want to go listen to them sometimes.
Who's the worst guy on the internet, Keith?
Huh?
Who talks the most stuff on the internet?
You and George Aldana.
Oh no, we're gonna have to call up George.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you know what though? But like this groups like this, it's like when the stuff happened to me with the federal government, okay, I understood what it was about, but I didn't agree with what they were doing. Because the person, I don't think he did it because he cared about the Hawks. See, that's the thing. That's the only part that bothers me about those things. I don't think he cared anything about the Hawks or them dying. And I don't think he could care less. He probably didn't even pay attention to a Hawk again since that happened. I think that was to get money and political gain for whatever he was about to do next. Because it had to be. He didn't care. I don't think he cared about the Hawks. They don't have people when we went to court didn't even know Hawks even existed in California. So, but what they got, my problem with the whole situation was they went all that way to do that, to put all of us in that situation where our families could have been affected for a Hawk. Okay, understand, but the Hawk was taking away my means for help taking care of my family. So it's like, really, so it's more important that a Hawk live than my family eat. And that's how I was looking at it. That's how I took it. And I'm still taking it away because look at all the stuff we were doing then. We was helping all the youth organizations, churches. We was helping all these people when they needed help. And why would you attack something like that? Not because pigeons are bad. Our pigeons, if the Hawk thing never happened, people wouldn't even know the pigeons world even existed. Like Milena, she didn't even know it even existed. We have Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Bloods, Crips, motorcycle people, dentists, doctors, lawyers, professional athletes, all these people in one yard, no arguments, and get along.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to interrupt something like that?
Right.
I mean, the Birmingham Road has done something that no other agency has ever done. We got brown, Black, white, Asian, Bloods, Crips that fight other Crips would normally kill each other on sight in the same yard, talking and everything because of a Birmingham roller. Why would you want to interrupt something like that?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the, I think, a great possibility of the documentary and more people seeing it is you end up seeing the positivity that can come out of this strange, wild world, that could really bring people together. And and what impact has like you're running with with the feds had years later, like what other repercussions has that had in your own life?
Well, I had to shut down the business because after that, nobody really wanted to come. They think the Feds still watch them. Nobody really wanted to come. So that had to shut down.
Wow.
There's not much. When I was on probation, there was no problem because I wasn't doing anything wrong anyway. So there was no thing to fine. I mean, to fine the roller community came together to help us with the fine. So that wasn't a big problem. I mean, we had guys from all over the world helping us. I mean, all over the United States helped us with the fines, pay the fines. So other than that, it's just another little notch in your record. It's a misdemeanor, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell people, if you kill a hawk, you say, ain't no hawks out here. I say, okay. Okay, that's all I can say.
Well, it's like they set up shop outside your place and we're filming it. I mean, I'm just thinking about the amount of manpower, the amount of money, you have surveillance technology that was used in order to take down a man who killed a hawk. Yeah.
The guy went undercover. How long was he undercover? A year and a half?
No.
18 months.
What?
Yeah, he went undercover and pretended to be a pigeon enthusiast and became all buddy with all of them.
How did he do that? What were some of the, I don't know. How do you dress as a pigeon enthusiast? How do you
regular?
Just
every day, jeans and t-shirt.
The way you describe it, it's like, yeah, you got people from all over the place who come together. Man, I can't imagine. Man, there are people plotting to blow shit up. There are people, trying to assassinate people, and this dude's going deep cover, 18 months.
They infiltrated a pigeon club.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. What was your best part of the movie you liked?
You know what? I have to say, I loved hearing you guys talk about the sport and all that. But my favorite part, and I think it was the most poignant, and I'm not giving anything away. Everyone needs to go see this documentary. At the end, after all the competition, after all the birds and all that, we see, I believe it's Keith cleaning up the coop and cleaning up the bird shit. And for me, that was such an important moment where it's like all the fun, all of the, the excitement, the entertainment, but at the end of the day, you still got to take care and you still got to clean up the mess that's left over in order to take care of these birds. And I thought that nailed it. So brava to the filmmaker for that. That was great. Yeah.
Filming that was just so much fun. Filming Keith clean, it takes you hours to clean it.
How often?
Yes, it does.
How often do you have to clean a coop like that?
Well, it's the thing with the coop, why I designed it is so that the key is for everything to stay dry. When stuff starts getting moist and wet, that's when all the problems start, sickness, stuff like that. But as long as my floor stayed dry, it was simple. I would just rake over it, which is like every 2 weeks, but nobody never saw that. But when it comes down to really cleaning it, you got to clean each individual breeding pen one by one, and there's 32 of them in there. Wow. And take about 3 minutes each. See, that's what time.
All the water bottles, all the feeders.
And then scrape the floor and get it out of there. Yeah. Takes a while, but you don't do it. I didn't do it that often. Maybe 3 months, maybe. But during off season, you don't have to hardly ever clean it off because there's not no babies. They don't eat as much, so it's not as big of a mess as it is during the breeding season when you got them breeding. They eat a high protein food, so they pooping even more. Mm-hmm. And they're feeding babies, and the babies are pooping, so it's a little more.
Man. One day in New York, I got pooped on twice. I went and I changed my shirt, and I came back out, and I got pooped on again. And
it was pigeons. It was pigeons.
Good luck,
dude. It was like there was a pigeon assassin. Just coming for me. I wish there was a hawk in the neighborhood around that time to take care of that pigeon. I never got my revenge.
Probably wouldn't have wanted that one.
The pigeon
probably would have.
There he is.
You want the good ones.
There he is. Let's get him.
So what are
you're looking for the good stuff?
What's everyone's plans moving forward? I'm hoping that that soon you guys are able to to get together to associate again.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, hold on, Keith. But how about Choo? What do you got planned? What's the future look like for you?
Well, right now I got 7 kits, and I've been flying, trying to get ready for this season, and try to do my best. Mm-hmm. Got to do your best. Just you learn something new every year. Got to keep going. Win, lose, or draw, you got to keep going.
Right on. Any new films in the pipeline?
Yeah, I'm working on a script that I've been working on quite some time. So hopefully it'll happen soon. It's a story about a woman with 2 lives.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I have to see that one.
If you need a roller pigeon, we know that you could definitely get that cast real easy. And Keith, what about yourself? What's the future hold for you?
Like he over there disconnected.
Oh, there you go. He's keeping us waiting.
Good now.
Are you okay, Mr. London?
Yeah, I had my phone on at the same time, so
that's all right.
I'm double recording right now.
Oh, okay. So Keith, I was just asking everybody what the future holds. What do you have planned coming up, and anything you're excited about?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna compete this year. That's my plan. I'm planning on competing this year. And
Coming
I'm trying
back.
to compete. Yeah, I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to come back and do like Jordan did, take a retirement, come back and start winning again.
There you go.
But I'm trying to I'm doing a fly for cancer this year. I'm hosting a fly for cancer. And that's what I'm kind of pushing toward right now. I really want to do that. Because so many times we have flies where we reward ourselves, trophies, money, just for us. And it's been a long time since we gave back to an organization. So I decided to do for cancer, because cancer has affected all of us in some way. I know everybody has a friend or a family member that has a cancer has taken their lives. So why not do a fly for that?
Nice.
That's right.
So, you know,
Well, when that happens, I hope you guys let me know about it, because I'd love to share that with my listeners and my watchers. Yeah. So for one, I just want to thank you all again for taking the time to join me. I want to thank you for making such a great film, and I hope more people see it. I hope more people see Pigeon Kings. It's one of those documentaries that you're not gonna forget. And one of the coolest things about the age that we live in is that I have the opportunity to reach out to amazing filmmakers and to thank them directly for their work. So thank you so much for making that.
You're very welcome.
Cool. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the show, please head over to thelouperez.locals.com and go ahead and support my sponsors. Black Organic Cold Brew, head over to www.blvckbrew.com and use the promo code LOU for free shipping. And if you head over to Paloma Verde, www.palomaverdestore.com, and use the promo code LOU, you'll get 25% off purchases over $75. And if you sign up for email, you'll get an extra 10% off. All right, later.